It's a brand new day where we talk about brands all day. From buying and selling, marketing too. It's a brand new day with you. It's a brand new day with you. All right, welcome back to It's a Brand New Day, our second episode. With me I have
Mia,
Andre,
Melanie,
Ellie,
Chris,
Betsy, Caitlin.
Wonderful, and this is Jim. Today we're going to be talking about a fun variety of topics, starting with the death of one Supreme Court Justice, Antonin Scalia. So how do we feel about this in the news? What are your thoughts on this whole Supreme Court debate that conservatives and liberals are having about how you replace the Supreme Court Justice? What are our thoughts?
I think that I don't understand people who think that we should wait like nearly an entire year to like find a replacement like till the next president comes, because some people are just saying like wait till the next president is elected, but like that's like an insane amount of time to wait.
Yeah, it's like over a year. So let's just do by show of hands. How many people think that we should wait for a year until the new president, and that should be his or her duty, or that Barack Obama should be, in fact, the person to nominate a judge? So let's say, show your hand if you want to wait. One. And then everyone who thinks Barack Obama should be the person. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay,
it's his
why?
term. Okay,
Go.
I was like reading an article and it's like it was actually really interesting because they were talking about how like the conservatives are like contradicting themselves because they always like they just praise the Constitution, everything that goes back to the Constitution, but like where in the Constitution does it say yes, the Supreme Court justice is elected by the president unless he has a couple more months in his term? Like that part is not a part of the Constitution in any way. So like why is it that they're like praising the Constitution, but then once this happens they're ignoring the Constitution and they're saying like no, we should wait a couple months until we have a new president?
Yeah,
Fair
and like
point.
if we wait that long, then like nothing's going to happen. Like nothing's gonna get done. Like.
but there's other people that can.
Well, isn't it what happens is what like when something like this happens, it goes to like the lower courts? Is that what happens?
Apparently, yeah.
Or-
If there's a tie, essentially the Supreme Court defers to the lower court's ruling. Essentially, like that's what happens. But what's the idea? If you
My
think
thing is why I get it. Obama's president, and I get that position should be filled. But in everyone else's defense, like in the next president's defense, the president, he or she has to deal with it for the next 4 or 8 years. Or whomever it is. So that's another problem that I think might arise. Like, they should be the ones that choose.
Let me ask you this. Do you think that if it were reversed, so let's say, for example, we had a Republican president and a Democratic-led Congress, do you think that the Democrats in Congress would also be doing what the Republicans are doing now in terms of sort of saying, basically, we won't approve any nominee, you should wait till the next president comes on board? Do you think that would be
I feel like
happening?
they won't be, I'm using millennial terms here, but I don't think Democrats would be as extra as Republicans are being.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like Republicans, some of them are just...
Is
like,
extra?
Yes.
Explain for this old man what that means.
It's time for millennial terms.
I've also never heard that term.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool,
but-
not alone.
Oh, you've never
Alright.
heard? It's like just being like over like dramatic, I guess. I don't
Oh.
know. I've heard that in places.
Stop being extra. Did I use it right?
I don't know.
Fancy.
Honestly, I don't
Fancy,
know.
right?
Anyway,
Uh-huh.
no. I feel like Democrats wouldn't make as big of a deal about it as Republicans are.
Okay.
I feel like they would.
Yeah?
Maybe.
But they're not in a position, so I mean you can't really
I think
speculate. But
I don't want to like stereotype either group either. So like I don't want to
Yeah.
say that, like Democrats are gonna be laid back, but like
Mhm.
to me I
Yeah.
think it depends on the circumstances, because even if it was a different president or a different Congress right now, they could still be Republican, it could still be a Democratic president.
Yes.
It's just like the way the political gridlock is happening with this term. Like it could be the same way or it could be completely different. It just really depends on like how Congress and the president are gonna get along.
For sure, yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see, because Barack Obama said today in some like town hall that he's like dead set on making a nomination. So I guess we'll find out. You were gonna say something?
I was just going to say it's interesting because, like, what are they going to do about all the decisions that he's been a part of, that
yes.
or the cases that aren't settled yet that he, like, had a say in?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, if they were to get another person, which I think that, or if Barack Obama were to appoint somebody now, would they make the same decision that he would? Would those decisions be changed, you know, from what they've already discussed?
Maybe they could do like what they did in Iowa and just flip a coin, because that seems like a good
Yes,
idea in 2016, right? All right, so moving on to the next news topic of the day. Kanye West, the world's greatest artist of all time, according to
Yes.
Kanye West, has released his latest album called The Life of Pablo. Ellie is very excited about it. You can't see her
I
here,
love it.
but she is having a moment right now. So Kanye released this album, but not only did he release this album, he released it in a very peculiar way. So it's only available on Tidal, is my understanding, the sort of fledgling online music streaming service. And then he also, in addition to releasing this album, has been tweeting that he's $53 million in debt personally, and has tweeted Mark Zuckerberg and others to help him get out of debt. So, thoughts on Kanye? So, Ellie, how do you feel about it?
Well, personally, the album is amazing.
Yeah.
He's actually, in the album, he kind of gets at himself, like, all the jokes about Kanye loving Kanye. Like, he has this 40-second song where he's just like, I am the good Kanye, there was an old Kanye, and like...
Oh, he rhymes with Kanye.
Yeah, and it's all about his name, and he's
Yeah.
like, at the end of it, he goes, and if Kanye made a song about Kanye, that'd be so Kanye.
Mhm.
And it's actually really funny, he like laughs at the end of it.
So it's meta Kanye.
Yeah.
I see.
I can really respect the album. Some of the songs are actually really powerful.
Mhm.
And but yeah, the title thing is it's weird.
Mhm.
I kind of like went around the system because it will definitely probably be
Oh.
out on iTunes
Yeah.
and
In other words, you're saying
He
you
said
downloaded it
wasn't.
illegally.
no,
Okay.
I did before it even came out.
Okay.
Even
Which,
better.
but then so I kind of like, I did the subscription to Tidal,
Mhm.
but then I canceled immediately.
Mhm.
So then they don't charge me, but I get a month of it free.
Ah, did you hear that, listeners? So sign up for Tidal
Yeah.
and then cancel it. So I like to do show of hands because I'm a marketing guy. How many people like totally get the Kanye artistry? The obvious next question is how many people just don't get it, right? So how many people are like Team Kanye all the way? I totally see the beauty in his art. Two.
I can respect it.
Okay, so 2 for
Yeah.
sure, 2 sort ofs, maybe 3 sort ofs. How many people like just don't get it? Because that's totally me. Like
Man,
Like,
I miss the old Kanye.
the thing
Yeah, I
is-
miss the old Kanye.
I feel that.
Yeah, like Gold Digger, I was like, I can see the music,
I
you
can
know,
dig
in this.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I'm serious.
Ah.
Were you
Making a joke there. Maybe what you're gonna say?
joke?
I
Top
think even
humor.
still, like, his music's still good, but, like, as a person, like, he's such a jerk, and, like, he's become, like, so misogynistic, and, like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just, like, it's really starting to come out more and more, which, like, I can't respect, it, like, especially because he's acting so godlike, and, like,
Yeah.
Well, his album is called Jesus, right? Like,
yeah, like,
it's-
let's just,
yeah.
like, and, like, he literally thinks that he is Jesus, like, he is, it's not even that he's, like, playing this facade, like, he is mentally convinced that he is,
he's
like,
a god. Andre is
God
shaking his
over
head
this.
no.
This is the thing. What he's doing is making people like you talk about him.
You,
Oh.
That's
that-
why.
So you
that's
think
your
it's-
response
I
to
think it's a-
everything. You
right,
think
it's
good
the same
that's
thing.
what everyone's
No, but
trying
it's,
to do.
it's the same thing with Trump.
Mhm.
Trump is making people talk about him. Kanye West is doing the same thing, and he's doing a pretty good job.
So Trump isn't racist?
I mean, he made it into our
Haha.
Uh-huh.
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're bringing worlds together now, music and politics. So do you would argue that it's all an act, it's all a marketing
yeah,
thing?
yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one could be that crazy or
But-
think they're that talented.
I think he could. I mean, he's getting away with it, and like because he does think he has that power, and his fans believe he has that power.
Mhm.
He's saying things without a filter because
just
he knows
cocky.
people are listening.
Yeah, I'm gonna,
Regardless of his audience. So
definitely. I'm gonna quote Kanye in his new album, and
Yes.
he says, "All geniuses are a little crazy." So
Ah, fair
I
enough.
feel like I've heard that before, like
I
pre-Kanye.
feel like somebody else said that. So it's funny you say that because I watched his performance on Saturday Night Live, the first and the second. And the second performance, he sings maybe 5 seconds. And then there's these really extraordinary backup singers who are really good singers. And I was like, they're good, but who's getting paid the money to like do this performance? Or even like the first performance was him using his vocoder sort of digital voice thing. And I'm like, that's not singing. So not to dispute the fact that he has his own sense of artistry, but in terms of classical music, like musicianship, I just don't know that I can attach my raft to the Kanye boat, so to speak. So, but we'll see. We'll see what happens, and we'll see if anybody pays his bills. All right, so the third topic is related. It's music. We'll talk about the Grammys in great detail when we get to our theme of the day. But so David Bowie's son checked in with, or commented about Lady Gaga's performance as a tribute to his father. How many of you watched the Grammy Awards? All right, almost everybody. What did you think of the performance? Show of hands. How many people liked it? We got 1, 2, 3, 3 for sure. Like maybe 2 or 3, not so much. And then how people were like, "What?" Because I was kind of like, "What's happening?"
I don't know.
Yeah. What did you think?
I
Yeah.
feel.
I think it started really strong, like with the projection at the beginning, and her makeup was amazing, and I was like, this looks good, it's being executed right, and she's doing a tribute to a person who she admires and who a lot of other people do, and then as it went on, I feel like she did kind of make it about herself almost. Like the last song she ended with should have been this, like grand finale, if you will, but then she made it a Lady Gaga performance instead of a tribute to a bigger person.
Everyone seems to be in agreement of that.
So
yes.
it was just, it was strange how, like, I felt like it was almost not even honoring him at the end. It was just kind of like, this is her own thing.
And the Sun's comment, what was the...
He, like, tweeted, like, the definition of, like, Gaga, and it was, like, confused and, like, something...
Yeah, something, like having to do with, like, being, like, over the top and over
and then he's like, what's the word I'm looking for, or something like that.
So a subtle, implicit... like knock on Lady Gaga. Now the funny thing is I never knew Gaga actually meant anything. I thought it was just like, oh, it's her name, like Sarah Jim, like do her thing, right? I mean I realize it's not her actual name, but
I feel like the tweet itself might just be out like for interpretation. Like I don't think he actually outright said that her performance was like good or bad or anything like that.
yeah, it seemed to be a bit frenetic. That was the thing. It was kind of all over the place as opposed to doing like 1 or 2 songs sort of like well done. It was sort of like here's 50 songs from David Bowie, 2 of which you might know unless you have the quote.
Yeah.
What does it say?
Overexcited or irrational, typically as a result of infatuation or excessive enthusiasm, mentally confused.
Oh, ouch. Harsh.
Uh-oh.
And then he said, what is that word? And if you look it up, it's Gaga.
Wow. That's harsh. Man, these musicians are just throwing like some shade at each other, right? First Kanye and Taylor, and now this stuff. So I guess we'll see what happens.
He's learning his millennial terms.
Yeah, he's going extra, right?
No.
So, topic 4 is Rebel Wilson at the BAFTA Awards. So, Chris, would you enlighten us to what Rebel did at the British Awards?
So at the British Awards she decided to talk about the trending hashtag on Twitter, hashtag Oscars So White, because out of the 4 categories for actor, actress, supporting actor, none of them are of any color except white. They're all very
white.
very white.
Super white.
And she makes a response. She makes a remark during when she's like presenting an award, and she says the reason I have not been asked to present an award at the Oscars is, as you all know, they are racist.
Ooh, how do we feel about that? Is it okay for comedians to sort of cross the line, or is that...
Oh,
Her?
I feel like
Yes.
That's
think
what
it's
comedians
another
are
thing
here
we need,
for.
but like another thing we need to talk about, like what did she say about like this is my like transgender?
She
face?
she said if she wanted to win a BAFTA, she was gonna work on her transgender face.
Interesting.
I don't really understand what she meant by that.
I don't either.
Well, that movie
Was that
Carol
a
came out.
reference? No, wait, wasn't it the Danish girl with
That
the
Danish
red
girl,
name?
yeah.
Yeah, my bad. Wrong
That's
one.
all right. Carol's the
Yeah.
lesbian one, but close. We see where you're going with
The
that.
LGBT
Right.
spectrum.
It's LGBT spectrum, right? So that's an interesting question. Is it okay then to make a race joke about black and white, but not okay to make a joke about transgender?
Well, I
issues?
feel like my thing with if you're gonna make a joke about race or gender, I feel like in comedy it's most important if you want to be like satirical, it's most important to like punch up rather than punch down, because if you say something you're like it's like, oh, something's racist, just kidding, and you're like kind of like the satire. I feel like everyone uses Family Guy as an excuse for that and like saying like, oh, it's satire, but if they're saying the exact same things like that the people who they want to satire are saying, then like they're no better than the people that they want to satire.
They're making fun of. Sure, I see what you're saying.
Like,
Yeah, so Tina Fey got a lot of criticism for this, for Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt within the past year, and like the
Yeah.
Asian boyfriend and the Native American parents. And she basically responded with, I'm not going to explain my joke. She's like, each of these jokes like was looked over several times. If you don't like it, fine.
Sorry.
Yeah,
I
like,
feel like if you have to use jokes like that
Edgy
are
jokes?
racist, what?
Edgy jokes?
Yeah, if you have to use jokes that are specifically racist or sexist or transphobic, like if you have to use those as a crutch, then you're not as funny as you think you are.
Mhm.
Because if that's like just your thing,
Of course, there's like a limit, is
Yeah.
what you're saying.
yeah.
Well, there's other things to joke about. Like,
Yeah.
not
Yeah,
even
that's
a
what
limit.
that's
like,
what I'm saying. It's like
I think it's
you can
possible
joke
to
about literally anything else.
you can like maybe poke fun or acknowledge the fact that it's an issue and say like this is going on and I still think it's relevant, but it is their job to be funny. But like there's
Yeah.
still a line that's crossed.
Mhm.
Like it's their job to be funny, but at what
Yeah,
cost?
true.
Yeah.
There's, like, you're gonna have people that love it and you're gonna have people that don't. And it's just like your moral code. Do you want to cross that line? Do you not want to? And I mean, if you want to throw in a couple like racist jokes or something in there, then that's like up to you. I
your
mean,
decision,
you're
yeah.
gonna get people that love
Yes.
it and don't.
What's
so.
interesting is that there does seem to be a double standard sometimes. So Leslie Jones is a current cast member on Saturday Night Live, and she will often say things that are really racist against white people. But the
Okay.
difference, yeah.
I feel like my thing is that I personally, this is gonna sound maybe a little bit strange coming from a card-carrying white person,
Mhm.
but I don't think you can be racist technically against white people.
Not
because,
true.
Well, I mean, you can be discriminatory and rude
Right.
and bigoted towards white people, but like racism is such a complicated system,
Mhm.
and how like white people have never been systematically oppressed in America
So on the aggregate,
on the same level that like maybe African Americans or like Asians or Hispanics have been. So like you can be discriminatory and rude
Mhm.
and like hurtful and mean towards white people, but you can't really be racist.
So my father was one of 12 white kids at his high school and had all black teachers and was discriminated against daily by his black teachers. My mom had to drop out of high school to go to night school because she was too white for black girls and too dark for white girls. So to say that white people can't be discriminated against is not true. But you get that, and I'm glad you said it, because people will say that all the time, that white people can't be discriminated against, and that is untrue. That's my opinion, but I find it hard to refute that, having watched my parents grow up where they did. So, but it is interesting that that's still a thought, because Leslie Jones can get away with saying things on Weekend Update. So there are other people who agree that she can say things about white girls talking a certain way, but if you imagine a white female comedian saying that black women talk a certain way, that joke would not be treated the same way that Leslie Jones's joke's being treated.
I
right?
feel like sometimes if you're making jokes about other races, these jokes, like if something, let's say like if a black person makes a joke about like a white person's like hairstyle or something,
Mhm.
like that's just like a joke. But like if a white person jokes about like a black person's hairstyle, like there have been black people that I've seen who like couldn't find a job as easily like because of their hairstyle.
Sure, yeah.
And like because of certain things like that.
Yeah, so I think what you're talking about, and it's a hard thing to disentangle, we're not going to do it here obviously, is there's the institutionalized history of racism, and that's where there seems to be like heavier anchors in certain categories, for sure. But I think anytime you judge anyone based on their race, regardless of what that is, it's not really the right thing to do. So, wow, we got really serious.
Yeah, general rule of life, just like
Whoa.
don't be a jerk.
Just
and
be
we're
a
good.
Yeah, don't be a jerk. Yeah, that's a really good thing, right? Okay, so the last news topic, and we spent a lot of time on the news, but that's okay because these are fun topics, is the MAP grant. So Mia, do you want to explain what the MAP grant is all about?
Okay, so the MAP grant is a grant provided to Illinois residents and Illinois students. And what's happening right now is, I believe, someone in the Senate or whatever is trying to basically take away that grant, but it's provided to a lot of students in Illinois. And obviously, if you go to school, especially in Chicago, schooling is crazy expensive. So they're taking away a lot of opportunities for them. Like, I have a roommate who gets $5,000 from them. So basically, it's just like she really doesn't have a purpose to take it away. She just wants it gone. So kind of an issue with Illinois students and
Yes.
Illinois residents.
How do you feel about this? I know it's been an issue for like undergraduates. I keep seeing postings for it. Are you all aware of what's going on? No?
I
Makes
didn't
me
even know there
wish
was a
I
MAP
was
grant.
Illinois resident.
Yeah.
Makes you wish you weren't an Illinois resident?
I mean,
She was.
I
Oh,
I
word,
was.
duh,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
not. I wish I was.
Yeah, to get in-state money or like
Yeah.
this kind of money, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I think it's interesting to see. I mean, education is getting cutbacks anyway, and it's just getting worse as we're trying to like fix the budget. What is interesting is that this entire time, of course, the Congress people in Springfield are getting paid and they're getting their health benefits. Which years ago, the former governor actually tried to do a pay freeze on congressional leaders, which didn't last. But his whole point was, if you can't set a budget, then you shouldn't be getting paid because you're not doing your job. And then they took that to the courts, and the courts said, no, you have to pay them. So it's funny that our elected leaders do a great job taking care of themselves, but don't do a particularly great job taking care of the people they are elected to serve. So I guess we'll find out what happens on that sometime soon. All right, fantastic. Well, that was the news. So let's talk a little bit about the Grammy Awards. So, Chris, you didn't watch it, but everybody else did. But we still want your opinion based on our unsolicited feedback here. So, number one, I guess first things first, did you agree with the outcome, right? So Taylor Swift won Album of the Year. Ed Sheeran won Song of the Year.
No.
So,
Ed Sheeran won Record of the Year?
yeah.
Bruno
Oh,
Mars
for thinking
won.
of
You're thinking
Yeah.
so
Record of
record of
the
the year.
Year.
Yeah.
Record of the
So
Year,
let's get
yeah.
the titles. The title's confusing. Record of the year went to Uptown Funk. Song of the year went
Okay,
to
Ed
Thinking
Sheeran.
Out
What is
Loud.
the difference between Song of the Year and Record of the Year?
That is a great question. Does anyone know the
I
answer?
think
Yes.
song is for writing and record is for producing.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
The record
That
is for the
makes
people
sense.
who make
job.
it in the
Sound
engineering.
good. Yeah. Well done. That was good. Yeah. Very
I don't
good.
know why I
We
know
didn't have to look it up, everyone. No devices necessary. So, were we happy with the results? Did you feel anybody got robbed? Like, what do you think?
I feel like To Pimp a Butterfly by
Yeah.
Kendrick Lamar should
Yeah.
have won Album of the Year.
I think
Because
her album was good.
1989, I personally I like 1989. It's a good album and I listen to it a lot in like the car. But as far as as far as like influence and production value and all that, I feel like To Pimp a Butterfly was a far better album.
Mhm.
And I feel like it deserved more than it got. It did win Best Rap Album, I
Right?
think.
Yeah.
He won like
He
5 or
won,
6
like,
Grammys,
five.
right?
Yeah, he won like a
Caitlin,
ton.
you were having an emotional reaction. You really are a Taylor Swift fan. Is this right?
This is
So
true.
You're very happy then about 1989
I
winning
was
Album of the
very
Year.
excited. I know that as far as like Taylor Swift's career is concerned, it was a huge jump for her. Like she had already been kind of progressing into pop, but like for her to completely switch directions and then be completely accepted by this community,
Mhm.
I don't know. And the album itself, I think, is great. And objectively, not because I'm a fan of hers, but I think it was
It's
a
just a
big
good album.
risk for her musically.
Sure. And then she made that very pointed statement about women and
Yeah.
producing your own thing, even though other people might try to take credit for your work, which was almost directly related to Kanye's comment about
Yeah.
how he made her famous through his statement,
And
right?
yeah, her statement was saying when you look around and realize that it will be you who got you there, not the people who tried to bring you down. It was because of the people who surrounded you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's trying not to surround herself with him, and
Yeah.
I don't know, that
Which
was
is probably a good idea.
which was an interesting way to accept that award though, like one of the biggest awards of the night.
Yeah.
And instead of saying thank you, like this means a lot to me, even though she did, she kind of still took a jab at somebody else.
Yeah, I got
feel
that
like
sense
she
too.
shouldn't have.
You think it was bad?
It was a weird speech.
The speech was good, like, if all this stuff with Kanye hadn't happened.
It seemed a
but,
little
like,
angry,
she was
right?
being, like, so shady about it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But
Just
that's kind
accept
of
your
what
award.
this generation
Yeah.
is now, because you like it happened at the VMAs with Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
that's
that's
now
what like
that,
gets you
gets
attention. That's
gets
what people
popular.
like. That's what people are talking
That's what
about.
Kanye
Like
West is
that's
doing.
what people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Andre's like, that's what
Yeah.
Kanye is doing.
But like,
Oh, I think
Going-
also that was like, think about it too in terms of Twitter. Like you can have like the tweet wars or whatever
Yeah.
back and forth, but
Yeah.
this she knew millions of people were
Right.
watching and could respond directly to something that was in the news, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
What I'm like, I say I'm angry. I'm not as angry as I'm like gonna come off as, but I am angry about Meghan Trainor winning Best New Artist.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm with you
gosh,
there.
That
I
made
think
me
James
very-
Bay should've
James
won.
Bay.
Yeah,
No.
Or Courtney
Barnett should've won.
Yeah, I wanted
Who I
Courtney
never
Barnett
heard
to
of
win.
before.
She's
Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah.
James
Yeah.
Bay is very, very cool though.
Yes.
He
I know
started
James.
he
Yeah.
started on
I would've been upset if
YouTube.
he won.
Ah.
James Bay or James
Chris
Bay.
has brought him up on the picture. He looks like the character in Poltergeist 2. With the hat. He's
He's
very
amazing.
pale.
Oh.
Oh,
Um,
there was Tori Kelly.
he
I
kind
love Tori
Tori
Kelly.
Kelly's super
She's
talented.
so
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah.
Every
She's-
performance is
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's
somebody
good.
that I would say can sing.
Ooh,
right?
but-
Like,
yeah.
classic music.
But
That-
also her
Megan
duet
Tr-
with James
well, that
Bay.
was beautiful, but like Megan Trainor being a part of Lionel Richie's tribute,
That
That
made me
was
so
made me
mad.
so angry.
So here's the thing
They
I think
did not
about.
do him enough justice.
Seriously,
Megan
thought that was
Trainor.
I agree.
Meghan Trainor is kind of a one-note kind of person. Like I get,
Yeah.
you can do the 1950s doo-wop sound.
That's like
Congratulations,
A
Charlie
sort of a
Puth is the same
one-trick
way.
pony.
Yeah.
Like-
So I imagine we won't hear much from her. This is probably her year, and then we'll see what happens. But I think that sort of like
But wasn't All About That Bass? That was already almost 2 years ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like did she win a Grammy for that,
They
or did
only
she
go
like,
until
I
like
don't know.
September.
No, I know there's
October.
like the cutoff, but like I don't understand how it's still being recognized for
artist.
Best New Artist when she was
maybe
Yeah,
the
she's,
album
like,
didn't come out
been
until
there.
after. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
maybe the single.
Yeah.
I'm not sure either. But just the fact that like there are people who they've obviously progressed just as she has. Like they've worked hard too, but for the one song that she did instead of
Yeah.
the growth of a career.
You can say the same thing about James Bay though.
No, that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
though.
Uh-huh.
And he did grow.
Yeah.
I mean, he started on YouTube with
Yeah.
almost no one, and then if someone picked up one of his songs and was like, hey, this guy's good.
I think big picture with Meghan Trainor, anybody, there are a million people, well, not a million, but there are many people out there who are better singers
Right,
anyway, or
yes.
better performers. So a lot of this is behind the scenes stuff too that we don't realize with record companies jockeying and positioning the albums a certain way. So Kendrick Lamar, we talked about a little bit. What about this production of Hamilton? So they have a live broadcast from Broadway of the cast of Hamilton. Mia is shaking her head no, like is that a good no?
That is a no praise. Oh my god, I
A no of
love
praise.
Hamilton.
I
I love musicals, and I thought that performance was like one of the best things of the night.
Yeah, so, and
God
then
bless.
Stephen Colbert had the Grammy ready, so I hope they didn't see it backstage and ruin the surprise. But what were you going to say?
Can a musical win album of the year?
I think they
They have a
technically
musical
could, right?
album of the year.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
they
there
won
should
like
be
musical.
they should have won album of the year.
You know,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Go.
Well, I think
They
they can
did.
because Beauty and the Beast, and this is nerdy that I know this, was nominated, I believe. I could be wrong. I might be thinking Oscars. They were nominated for Movie of the Year, but
Well, I
they
think-
might have been done
I
for
think
Album of
Beauty
the
and
Year
the
too.
Beast was nominated for Song of the Year.
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I
wasn't
think so.
like
It was
wasn't the
something
song
weird.
from like Aladdin nominated one time?
A Whole New World?
Yeah.
So who knows
Was
how
it?
what the
I don't
cutoff
know.
is for musicals and animated films and things. What were you gonna say, Andre?
I don't know.
I think there is a crossover. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's specifically a limit. It's just kind of whatever gets recognized.
Well-
I mean, I don't know who determines that.
What
but
was the name of the award that Hamilton won? Like the title?
Like,
Best Musical Theater Album.
Yeah.
So I think if there's a musical theater, but this is the first year they even recognized the musical theater album,
Which is
right?
crazy. Is
Which
that true?
I think
It's the
so.
first
I've
on,
usually
like,
never on the Grammys.
on
on
television.
TV.
It's
I don't
really
like that.
awkward.
Oh,
But it's
Andre's
good
got
now
strong
that we're
feelings.
like,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
let's go musical theater.
Yeah.
But
Let me ask you a question with this whole Hamilton excitement. If you had to create a musical about some famous person from history, who would it be? Because I was thinking
Me.
about doing a joke about like a
Myself.
Betsy Ross musical. You would write it for yourself,
Yes.
Melanie. What would it would just be called Melanie the
Yes.
musical?
It'd be
Right.
awesome.
I feel like I should do Betsy Ross since my name is already Betsy.
Done,
So
yeah.
she's basically my soul
Yeah, I'll give
sister.
it to you. and
Then
you
the
can write
rights to the Betsy Ross rock musical.
it. All right.
It's
Who
like
else?
heavy metal rock musical
Oh,
about
okay.
Betsy
About
Ross.
Betsy Ross.
Neil Armstrong could be fun.
Neil Armstrong.
Oh, that would be cool.
Good.
I would do Misty Copeland.
Misty
I
Copeland.
think they could do a really
Like
good spin off
dance.
of that.
Yeah, that'd be
That's a
cool.
good idea.
We're talking about history.
Anybody, yeah, anybody from the
What about the Beatles?
Beatles. Yeah, is there no?
How
there's
did
no
they-
Have you
Beatles
seen
musical.
Across the Universe?
Across the
Oh,
Universe.
Across the
I
Yeah.
love that.
Universe.
It's oh,
That's
I
not
love
the
Across
Beatles.
the
That's not
Universe.
the
Like,
Beatles.
What'd you say?
It like bombed. Right?
Oh yeah, the movie
Yeah.
didn't do very well. So
I loved that.
I'm thinking of like. I've just forgotten every single historical figure. Like I've just forgotten all of them.
well, you
What is
won't.
history?
You won't forget
Maybe
Hamilton.
like Johnny
Hamilton.
Appleseed or something.
That's what I would do.
Hamilton. I hear that that's good. Johnny Appleseed would have his own. Paul Bunyan and the Who right?
Hamilton's
Do
coming to
a musical
Chicago.
about like Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan the musical. That'd be a really peaceful stage show for everyone. Cool. The last thing to talk about for the Grammy Awards was the CBS live stream sort of collapsing and falling apart. It's funny, so more and more networks are getting into like you can watch it live, you can watch it live. But how do you feel when you go to watch it live? So Melanie, I think you said you were going to watch it live and
Yeah.
it didn't work. How did you feel?
Well, you had to like sign up and subscribe and like enter like your credit card stuff in
Mhm.
order to watch it. So like I did all that and it didn't work for an hour and a half.
You
like,
paid for it?
Okay, they did this like 1 week free trial thing.
Ah.
So I did get that, but if you had like already used it, like you would have had to pay. Like
I heard a
people
friend
pay.
do this with Tidal, kind of, where she like signed up and then canceled. Okay. Okay.
But then it didn't work.
Oh.
And their website wasn't working, but they were actively taking down everyone else's live stream. Like I started watching it on
Ooh,
YouTube and
yeah.
they took it down.
That sucks.
Like if you can't even have your own website working, why are you taking down
you
the
should have
ones that
somebody
are
else's.
working?
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else watch it live on live stream, or like did you watch it on
I watched
TV?
it on TV.
I asked my boss to put it on while I was working. It was my
Ah.
birthday gift.
Oh, happy birthday, Mia!
You get to watch the Grammys
Some people
in a
ask for
sports
cake,
bar.
some people ask for money. Mia asked to watch the Grammys live at a sports bar. All right, so I think we're winding down in terms of time. We are. We've got a couple minutes left. So what I'm going to do is play a game with you. So of course, last week or this past week was Valentine's Day on Sunday. Many of you had love, and others just celebrated.
I had a lot of cereal.
I watched The Walking Dead
It's the same
with my
thing.
cousins.
That sounds romantic.
Yeah,
Both
it
of
was.
those, cereal and dead people. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play a little game called Celebrity Crush. And what's gonna happen is I am going to name one half of a celebrity couple, and then you have to name the other half of that celebrity
We're
couple.
gonna kill this.
All right.
It's just harsh joke.
Mia's laughing about something. All right, so this first one will be super easy. So we'll go and we'll see what happens. Well, let's go down the line and see, because otherwise, as a team, you guys will get them all right. So if I said Kate Middleton, you would say
Oh, Skip.
Uh-oh. Mia does not know the answer. The answer to Kate Middleton is
Prince William.
Prince William, of course.
That's her last name. I thought of Kate Winslet.
Kate Winslet.
Who knows?
Andre, if I said Chris Hemsworth, whom is he dating? This is a tricky one. I'm not sure I know who she is.
I know who his
She's a
brother is
model.
dating.
Oh, Betsy's pointing to herself.
Someone from Victoria's Secret.
Elsa Pataki? Do we know Elsa?
I've never heard.
She's from Frozen.
From Frozen.
Oh, yeah. The Frozen Queen. All right, so Vanessa Hudgens.
Oh.
Who's she
I know
dating
this
right
one. Oh my god.
I
that's
wish I could
so
say
beautiful.
Zac Efron, but I
Um,
can't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anybody know?
Austin
Yeah,
Butler.
Austin Butler. Who's Austin Butler?
I've heard.
so
what was he?
smoking
What's he
hot.
He's
from?
so extra. Is that
He's
right?
from Carrie
I don't know.
Diaries.
He's from
Honestly,
what?
I don't even know.
Carrie
Carrie
Diaries.
Diaries.
Carrie
That's right.
Diaries. Oh, that was canceled,
Oh,
right?
I did know that.
Yes.
I didn't know.
So one time, so Carrie Diaries was created by Darren Star. Yes, you know Darren Star, the guy. No, you don't know who this is? He created like what was that show called that Carrie Diaries was based on?
Sex and the City.
Yes, that show. I hated that show.
Carrie
That was
Diaries.
stupid.
Oh, I love Sex and the City.
I thought it
think
was
Carrie
I
very
Diaries
good.
was a
don't. I
disaster.
do not
Carrie
like Sex and the
Diaries.
City at all.
Dumb,
Is-
right?
and
So
I agree.
this Darren Star guy created it. Like he's famous, but like I sat next to him at dinner once, called him David for hours the entire dinner. And I was like,
No.
David, how are you? And then I made some comment. I was like, I've never seen your show, but I hear people like it. Like it was a really cool night. Okay, so Lady Gaga, who are we on? Lady Gaga
Oh,
is
I know
dating
this one.
whom? Ellie doesn't know.
No. I'm
Who is
sorry.
it?
Taylor Kinney.
From
Oh my god.
Chicago.
Chicago, one of those Chicago things. PD,
Chicago
Chicago
Fire.
vet, something, right?
Chicago something.
All right, next one is
I
wait for
still
it.
my heart.
I love
The internet is not okay. This one's easy. Angelina Jolie,
Angela, Brad Pitt.
of course.
Yay!
All right. John Krasinski.
Oh, I want to say the actress that plays Pam in The Office because in an ideal world.
It would be.
But oh my god, I literally have no idea.
Help her out.
Emily.
Emily Blunt.
Oh,
That's
is it?
correct.
Yes, Emily
Hey.
Blunt. I knew that.
Jason Sudeikis.
Oh,
I don't even know who that is.
I love
Saturday
Jason
Night Live.
Sudeikis.
Oh my
Don't
gosh,
know.
I don't know.
Olivia Wilde.
What?
Oh.
Okay.
I know, hard to
Oh,
believe, right?
I
It's
did
kinda
not
cool.
know that.
Wild.
What about? Well, as a group, we'll do the last few. John Legend,
Ooh,
the model
Chrissy
again.
Teigen.
Chrissy
The
Teigen.
model.
Yeah, you guys are much better collectively than you are separately. Beyonce.
Jay-Z.
Of course. Let's see. There are a few more here, except the internet's being slow. And then we've got Channing Tatum is dating.
Jenna.
Well, they're married now.
Jenna
Jenna-
Tatum.
Oh, they,
Tatum.
they were married in
Jenna
2009.
Tatum.
That is correct. Chris Pratt,
Oh my
Oh,
gosh, what's her
Anna
name?
Ferris.
Yes.
Anna Faris, very good. Ellen
We've had an Anna
DeGeneres.
and an Elsa.
Portia.
Yeah, see?
Yes.
And last but not least, although we're not quite sure, Taylor Swift and
Calvin Harris.
definitely not Kanye West. All right, very good. Well, all right, everybody, thanks for coming. Yay! We'll see you all next week for more. It's a brand new day.